So hello everyone. So in this video we will be learning about Interaction Studio. So we will see what is Interaction Studio and how we can use Interaction Studio in web applications and what is the purpose of Interaction Studio. Okay. So myself Prithviraj. Okay, and I have experience of 4.5 plus years. Okay, and working with Marketing Cloud. And let's start with Interaction Studio. Okay, so in Interaction Studio, first of all, what is Interaction Studio? So Interaction Studio is actually a technology using which, or it was previously known as Evergage, and using this technology what we can do, we can personalize or customize the website based on the users affinities towards the products. Okay, let's say this particular user is interested in a particular type of product. For example, let's say shoes. Okay, so if this particular user is interested in shoes, we will show shoe relevant banners and info bars or advertisements. Okay, that is the purpose of Interaction Studio, to customize. Also in case of e-commerce websites, where there is e-commerce websites, right, like Flipkart and all, so there the product recommendation is very vital. Let's say someone is viewing this product and we don't show them relevant products, we cannot cross sell or upsell that other items, right? So in those areas Interaction Studio can help and improve the conversion rate. Okay, so let me go to the first slide. So Interaction Studio actually comes into picture in three particular steps. Okay, it's collect the data. Okay, collect, then after they collect the data, they unify the data, they update the data, and based on the user interactions, and finally the next best action. Okay, what they have to offer. So collect, update, and next best action. Okay, next best action. Okay, so these are the three steps. Okay, how Interaction Studio works. Okay, now as a developer, okay, when you are working with Interaction Studio, mainly there are 6 main steps, okay, which you will do. Okay, first part, okay, is taking the blueprint or deciding on the use case. Okay, that is the first step, where you discover. This is called the discovery phase, where what you do as a developer, or most of the time it's solution architect or principal architect who will reach out to the client, and what they will do, they will gather the information. Okay, that what are the how many domains are there, what are the inventory. Let's say the inventory in one country is different than that of other country, then the products catalog will also be different, right? And in those cases, if we use the same data set, which is the kind of a database in Interaction Studio, then it will not be relevant, right? So in that case there has to be separate data sets and all. So this kind of decisions has to be taken prior the project has already been started. Okay, so that is the discovery phase. Okay, so once the discovery phase is completed, then the development teams come into picture. Okay, so the interaction team and the Interaction Studio team and the web development team, what they will do, they will work together to define these content zones. Okay, and install the web SDK, define the content zones by the page IDs. Okay, that these are the sections where the ads will be displayed, all those things. Okay, so once that is done, the third step is developing the sitemap. Okay, so after that, developing the sitemap JS. So we have to define in the sitemap.js we will look in the next upcoming slides. So what happens is, we will define the page types, the content zones, there will be listeners, okay, so those things. And fourth step is creating segment. So any user who meets a particular segment or comes under the a particular segment based on their browsing history, okay, so or the product they viewed, okay, so we will segment them, and then we have template creation, okay, so we will create the template and publish the campaign, okay. So these are the 6 steps. Okay, there are some more important things, but like Einstein recipes, ETL, okay, so those are separate, but these are the fundamental 6 steps, okay. So in Interaction Studio, what is the environment like? We use an app launcher. So in Chrome extension you will find app launcher. So Interaction Studio app launcher, we install that, okay, and once the web SDK is integrated, okay, then we will see the beacon as detected and we will start developing. That's the development environment where you will write your code, you will publish your campaigns on top of, and it will happen on top of your website, okay. So it will just replace the images, like if your website has some banner and you visit something, okay, and come back to the home page, let's say your banner will get updated to some other product, okay. So those things happen because of this tool, okay. So and the technology, the tool which is there, right, all these things where you are creating your campaigns, the templates, the sitemap and all, so this entire thing is called Visual Editor, okay. So coming to the next slide, identity management, okay, this is very important in Interaction Studio. What Interaction Studio does is it will club all the anonymous user data from various sources and unify the data to give one single view of the customer, okay. Let's say the user has viewed something from the mobile application, it has viewed something from the web application, maybe it has purchased something and seen something in the ATM, okay, or they were recommended something from SFDC, okay, sales team, based on some recommendations they gave. So all those data from various sources, or maybe some offline data, something came from FTP, okay, all those data is collected and aggregated into one single view of the customer, okay. So first, let's say the user is a known user, then they turn into known user, so all this unification happens, okay. So this is kind of a dashboard, okay. So what it looks like when the data is unified for a customer. I got this from Google, okay, you can get this image from Google, okay. So this basically is a unified view where we can see the user's affinity towards the products, the last views, okay, what did they view the previous time, okay, all those things, the user's email address, the phone number and all, everything got clubbed and merged into a single unified view, okay. So this is important, okay. So then coming to the next slide is Sitemap.js. So as I have told, Sitemap has few important things, okay, first is match function is there. There is page type, okay. So inside a page type, what happens is there is match function which actually checks the user is in which particular page, and based on that it will work, okay. So the content zones. So the content zones, like what are the content zones, which are the content zones. Now let's say the web development team has just provided the IDs that these are the content zones, but how will Interaction Studio know that these are the content zones? So for that we write this in this sitemap.js, we define specifically that, hey, Interaction Studio, these are the content zones, you need to show your ads here, okay. Then there is action event, okay. Action event is like in React you have this lifecycle methods, okay. So something similar, okay, not exactly, but then something, it's like you can say like onload function, okay. So where onload, you define, you want to capture, let's say, some variables, okay. So those kind of activities you can do in the action event. There is listeners, okay. So in listeners, what you do, let's say you submit a form, and you want, on submitting that form, the data has to enter Interaction Studio, right? So this all this information captured, let's say registration or something happens, all this data goes into Interaction Studio, then you use listeners. Then there is catalog, okay. So there is catalog, these are few, I have this link, okay. So in this link, if you go, there are a number of things, okay. I have just mentioned the important ones. So catalog, so catalog is you want to recommend products, but those product has to be, those information about the products has to be there in Interaction Studio. Only then Interaction Studio, when based on user behavior, will push those items in your website, right? So that how do you capture that catalog? So this using the catalog in page types, okay. So you just have the code, and that pulls the catalog from the website into Interaction Studio. So the sitemap.js code looks somewhat like this. In page type, there is match function, on action event, okay. It returns the events, okay. Like if you want to capture the search attributes, in this case I took this code from the documentation. So here on action event, it is capturing the last searched items, okay. And so, and the isMatch function is identifying that if the user has landed the search page, okay. So this is page type, okay. So inside page type, like there is name, there is isMatch function, there is action, okay. So there is listeners, okay. So in content zone, you can see that we have defined the content zones, like name is home hero, okay. And the selector is actually selecting the content zone based on the class name, okay. So the class name might be experience dash carousel dash banner carousel. So it is capturing that, okay. And then there is listener. So on click, so there is listener, so on click of login form button, okay. So what they are doing, they are capturing that email address, okay, and putting it inside Interaction Studio. So all this is available in this particular link in the documentation. So you can go through this documentation, okay. So all this information is here. Also, let's go to the next slide. Now coming to segments, okay. So this is kind of a very high level where we are introducing ourselves to Interaction Studio, right? So what are the steps involved, okay. So we have created the sitemap.js. Now we create our segment, okay. So in segment, what we have is we create rules, okay. So if a user meets a particular rule in that segment, okay, then that user falls in that particular segment. And if we have that user in the particular segment, then only we will show add that user to a particular campaign, okay. So the user will be eligible to see some campaign related things. And also from after getting added to a segment, we can add that user to a journey using a sync to journey option, okay. So we can pull that data and have that user receive some email or something, okay. So segment, again segment, this link is very useful, okay. So this segment link, it has all these steps involved, okay, to create a segment. Now coming to the next slide. So next slide is cloning a template or creating a template. So there are a number of templates already available. You can just clone the template and use, like there is banner with call to action, there is info bar with call to action, so you can just clone the global template and use it, or you can create your own template, okay, and use that, okay. So inside the template you have handlebar, CSS, client side and Java server side code, okay. So in case you are interested in building your own template, they have provided you the tools. Otherwise, most often we use the existing templates which are present, okay. So once the template is created, okay, then we create the campaign. So the campaign creation steps are here in this link. Okay, so we create our campaign. So let's if you are seeing this, okay, so the image, right, there is experience 1, experience 2, you can add multiple experiences, and based on either A/B test, okay, or you can add a rule. So most often you will use a rule, so rule based campaign, okay. So what will happen, if they fall under a particular segment, you will add that user in a particular campaign, okay. So in that that is what rule based one is, okay. And the A/B test one is by percentage. 90% of the users will see this campaign, the 10% will see some other campaign, okay. So other than this, there is additionally Einstein Recipe, okay. So in Einstein Recipe there are ML algorithms, machine learning algorithms which are there, and those are called ingredients, okay. So what you can do, you can choose an algorithm, train your model, okay, test your model, simulate it, okay, and once you are sure that okay it is working as expected and providing the right kind of recommendations, you then go ahead and publish your model, okay, and then you can use that in the campaign. So in the campaign you can select that Einstein Recipe and you can use that, okay. So in a recipe there are ingredients, there are exclusions where you can both exclude and include. There is boosters where you can boost some specific category of products if you would like to. There are variations, okay. So let's say you don't want to show only shoes. If the user is interested in shoes, you want to put a little bit of variation, like if they show 2 products of shoes, they can show 1 product of, let's say, t-shirt, okay. So you can add and tweak the model, okay, according to your that's what is this, okay. So once you are done with that, product recommendations will be shown in your website. You might already be using it in Amazon and Flipkart and all these websites, okay. So they might be using some product recommendation tool, okay. Now open time email, also you can push these recommendations in your emails. When you open the email, you might see the product recommendations in your email based on your past purchases, okay. So based on your past purchases, you can actually see your product recommendations in your emails, okay. So this also you can build in the Interaction Studio dashboard, okay. And once you have that open time email, what you can do, you can just take that snippet of template and you can just use it in either your marketing cloud or any other email service provider like MailChimp or something, okay. So apart from that, there is ETL. So there is ETL if you want to import some external data, okay. So not only all the time that you would want to have the data come from a website, maybe sometime you might want a file drop to happen, okay. So for that there is ETL tool, okay. So you can pull that data from ETL, okay. ETL is extract, transform and load. Basically you take the data and there is feeds dashboard, okay. So you import it, you check the data first, okay. There is test, so you check the data, what's changing, okay, and all those. Once you are confirmed, then there is a commit, you click and you commit that, okay. And apart from that, there is ETL gears also, so you can write your own code and tweak that as well, okay. And then there is reports. Okay, so in reports again, there are a number of reports. Okay, so there are technical reports. Okay, there are there are reports like device specific, which user is coming from which device, those kind of reports are there. Then there are goal specific reports, okay, based on the goals and all. Okay, so all these type of reports are shown over here. Okay, and various kind of dashboards, so like revenue, activity, visitors, geography wise. Okay, so various kinds of reports. Okay, and event stream. Okay, event stream is kind of continuously people, when they come to your website and visit, all the data automatically it will start flowing into Interaction Studio. Every action will get captured, that is event stream. Okay, so all these reports are given over here, so in this link. Okay, so there is goal comparison report, and all these reports are there, behavior, technology based reports. Okay, so all these reports are here. So that's it. I think we have come to the end of this slide. So hope you like this short video on Interaction Studio. Okay, this was a very quick overall picture of what Interaction Studio does, and what is it capable of achieving, and how it can help your business grow. Okay, so that's it. So hope you like the video. So thanks again. Bye.